Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. We are doing live severe weather coverage here for a little while this evening, covering some of the dangerous severe weather, especially across the lower Missouri Valley. We have several severe thunderstorm warnings across central and southern Missouri that we do have to get to throughout this live stream. So I definitely appreciate everybody joining the live stream here this evening. So make sure you press the like button on the way in. I appreciate it. And hope everybody's having a uh, great Monday evening out there. Almost forgot what day it was. So we're going to get to some of these live severe thunderstorm warnings here in just one moment. I appreciate everybody joining here. How's everybody's Monday going here? Everybody in the live stream, how's everybody's Monday been? Been a very rainy last couple of days, really, across portions of the Midwest. All right, let's go here to live coverage. Let's look here at our first storm. This is into southwestern Missouri. This is well north of Joplin. We have a big hail producer up here. This is for golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And the movement of this storm is to the southeast at 15 miles per hour. So let's put a tracker on this storm and show you where we could expect this storm within the next hour or so. So if you are in the Tiffin, Missouri region, you have that storm impacting your area in 23 minutes time, Coal Hill in 33 minutes, Lebec in 34 minutes, Cedar Springs, Missouri in 40 minutes, and if it holds on, it'll be in the Crook Springs area in 45 minutes time as the storm presses to the south and east. It's only moving at 15 miles per hour, but it does have some golf ball size hail with it as it pushes farther to the south and east. Thank you to Matt Middens and Crone and also Tim Key, Rain Maves, Jennifer. Thank you for joining. Much appreciated. Hope everybody's having a great Monday evening out there. Yeah, so this is the area of concern. This is pushing across the Rich Hill, Missouri region, up here toward Appleton City. But the strongest part of that hail core is going to be pressing its way east of I-49 here into southwest Missouri toward the El Dorado Springs area. So if you live down here toward El Dorado Springs or on up there to Walker, Rich Hill, definitely watch out for this. This is all in southwestern Missouri. We could be talking about some ping pong ball, if not golf ball size hailstones here this evening over the next 30 to 45 minutes. John, Christy, thanks for joining. Much appreciated. Hope everybody's having a great Monday evening out there. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. Definitely helps to get more people on the live stream talking about severe weather coverage. Tracking these storms a little farther to the east here, north of Lebanon. This is north of Interstate 44. This south of Laurie, Missouri. You have a hailstorm here as well until 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. These are drifting off to the south and east at 25 miles per hour. We also have a storm over here toward the St. Robert region. This is continuing to produce some ping pong ball at golf ball size hail as well. This is just to the north of St. Robert, right along and north of I-44 here. So we're continuing to watch this storm very closely for some hailstones. Looks like the strongest part of the hail core with this storm is particularly northwest of Robert, where you see these purples and pinks showing up. That'll be pressing its way maybe just east of Robert toward the Rolla region here. This is into southern and south central Missouri, so we're going to continue to monitor this storm as well as it pushes off to the south and east. Then we also do have a decent storm over here as well in towards portions of southeastern Missouri approaching the Fredericktown Ironton region. This is also capable of some half-dollar to golf ball size hail as well, and this will be pressing its way down toward the Fredericktown region and Irontown as well. So we will be monitoring those storms as they progress farther off toward the south and east. Cloudy till now, sunshine moving in. Still cloudy down here into northern Illinois. Some fog developing as well. We had a lot of rain last night. We had about 2 inches of rain in the rain gauge, so definitely a lot of rain down here in northern Illinois last night. We had a big complex of storms move through, some gusty winds, some heavy rain, a lot of lightning, and we're just left with some leftover cloud cover up here with a lot of fog developing overnight with the light winds. Yeah, so we zoom out the picture here. You can see in general there is a severe thunderstorm watch. This does go in effect, I believe, till 11 p.m. So, yes, it does. 11 p.m. this evening for portions of extreme southeastern Kansas here, 3-tiered counties there just west of Joplin in Kansas. All of south central Missouri, southern Illinois, getting over here into western Kentucky and southwestern Indiana. This includes Evansville, Paducah, Kentucky, getting in toward Cape Girardeau, the St. Louis metro area down just south of Jefferson City, Springfield, Joplin, those areas into Missouri. Definitely watch out for that. That is right along the I-44 corridor. We have that severe thunderstorm watch in place until 11 p.m. Central Daylight Time this evening. That is what that pink outline is here on the radar. And a lot of these storms are really moving slowly too. They're not really moving that quick, but they are producing some big hail. Like I said, ping pong ball to golf ball size hail, it can definitely put some dents in your car. So we are definitely seeing that potential realized across especially southern and south central Missouri here. Like north of St. Robert, for example, we got some big hail. This may be turning more to a wind threat, though, as some of the hail cores are weakening with time. But we are still seeing some big hail back here with the supercell kind of broken off of the main line to the east. But this is back toward the Appleton City region, north of Nevada and El Dorado Springs. Decent hail core here northwest of El Dorado Springs into southwestern Missouri. These storms are definitely moving slow, but if you get under one of these stronger cores, you definitely could be seeing some big hail. So do be mindful of that as well. Definitely be mindful of that. And let's kind of take a look here at our velocity. We're not really seeing much in the way of rotation with any of these storms. They're not tornadic, but we definitely see a big hail. So the main mode of severe weather will be large hail to very large hail, and then followed by damaging winds with these storms tonight. This will turn into a complex of storms as they progress farther to the south and east across the Tennessee Valley in the Mid-South overnight. So this will drift south as we go through the overnight hours. Let's look at some of the echo tops with these storms here. Decent tops. There's no surprise we're seeing some golf ball size hail with these storms, especially when you're seeing these thunderstorm echo tops around 51,000 feet there just to the north of Joplin. That's that's pretty tall. That's 10 miles up in the atmosphere. So we are seeing that with a couple of these storms. There's no tornadoes in Wisconsin right now. No tornadoes in Wisconsin right now. Bonnie, is that headed to Tennessee? Yes. These storms are on the way to Tennessee later on tonight. Yes. Absolutely. And we'll take a look at this actually regarding your question about that. Let's take a look here at the HRRR model and what we could expect here, what the radar could look like anyway, going through the next few hours to the next, overnight hour time frame. So let's look at this real quick. All right, so looking here, this is about 8 o'clock this evening, and you can see thunderstorms blowing up as expected across southern parts of Missouri here. These storms will be carrying the threat for hail and damaging winds through southern Missouri, southern Illinois, watching a couple supercells trying to pop up back over here into southwestern Indiana, western Kentucky. Those also could present the threat for some hail for Evansville, Paducah down toward Hopkinsville region. And then this is around, like I said, 8 o'clock this evening. These storms will be turning into what we call an MCS, or a mesoscale convective system, through the evening hours, really not reaching northwestern Tennessee till after midnight. So, and by the time this does occur, these storms will be in a weakening trend, but there still could be some damaging wind producers there, I suppose, down into the Memphis region, Jackson, Tennessee, Clarksville, maybe north and west of Nashville. But I think as these develop farther south and east with time, we're going to be seeing these move through middle Tennessee around 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. They really will be coming through at a more of an unfavorable time of day. So I'm not too concerned about a widespread severe weather threat here across middle Tennessee. I think the highest threat of severe weather, and that is relative because it's not really that great of a severe weather threat because it's coming in after midnight, but there will be some bigger storms moving in toward like the Memphis area, Jackson, and then on up there toward Clarksville, just northwest of Nashville there. That would be the area of concern for any stronger thunderstorms before they start to weaken as they push in towards the Cumberland Plateau into eastern Tennessee and into middle Tennessee for like Nashville, Murfreesboro, and Chattanooga, Knoxville. Those areas will see some storms, but probably not severe. Probably not severe. So the strongest of the storms will be in western Tennessee, I'm thinking here. That'll be between midnight and about 3 o'clock in the morning. We'll be seeing that. You may be waking up to some storms there in Memphis, and you see the purple cores here on the simulated reflectivity on the HRRR model. We will be seeing some heavy rain. Some hail will be possible, but probably more of a damaging wind threat overnight if you see severe storms. That will be for the Memphis area up there toward Jackson and then Clarksville. And then as these drift farther south, they'll become really outflow dominant. So these storms could try to hang on across eastern Arkansas, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, Huntsville, down to Tupelo, into the Greenville region, potentially getting in towards your mid-morning hours. But these will really fade away as we get toward the mid-morning tomorrow, because these storms will really be moving into a hostile environment with a lot of heating and a lot of cape, or sorry, not cape. Man, it's a Monday today. Moving into an environment hostile for these storms, we have a cap. That's what I was trying to say. We have a cap on the atmosphere, and that is producing a lot of hostile environment for these storms to move in. I'm having a case of the Mondays today, so I apologize. Trying to think of what I'm trying to say, and sometimes it doesn't always match up with what I'm trying to say here, but I got it. We are also tracking some storms going through tomorrow as well. So you see, zooming out the big picture, I know we got the warnings boxes here. We do have some storms up into South Dakota, Nebraska, and the Kansas tomorrow. A couple of them into northwest Wisconsin and across the mid-Atlantic. Those will just be leftover storms going through the morning hours tomorrow. So I'm not too concerned about a severe weather threat. But, however, the storms that form over here in towards Nebraska and northern Kansas, that is the system we're going to be watching for tomorrow. We have a severe weather threat across the Central Plains, and this could develop an MCV, or which is known as a mesoscale convective vortex, or an MCS, a mesoscale convective system. This could be developing some damaging winds in the northern parts of Kansas, the Hays, Kansas area, getting up here towards Manhattan, maybe as far north and east as the Lincoln area. But I think the Omaha, Nebraska should be A-okay through the morning hours on your Tuesday. And then going through the day on Tuesday, these will dive to the southeast. I think a widespread damaging wind threat will probably be in the cards for Wichita to Topeka to Kansas City potentially. We could be watching for some damaging winds and some large hail. I can't rule out a couple tornado spin-ups along the leading edge of this as well. This is 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and this will dive down to the southeast and really hold its own through southeastern Kansas, Joplin, Missouri, southwestern Missouri again getting hit, Springfield down towards the Tulsa region. Watch out for that. And this will be diving in. This is 11 o'clock tomorrow evening, and you can see really holding on into southwestern Missouri, northwestern parts there of Arkansas toward the Fayetteville and Fort Smith region. So this will be covering a lot of ground through the day tomorrow. They'll be starting up here to the north and west during the morning. This is mid-morning, and then they'll really take off in the afternoon. I think the strongest of the storms will be across eastern Kansas, from Wichita to Topeka to Kansas City, St. Joseph. Those areas could be seeing the strongest storms going through the mid to late afternoon tomorrow. And then these will start to dive farther to the south and east and really kind of hold their own, sustain themselves through the evening and with that low level jet, and then really fall off and fall apart before they really reach the Little Rock region. You can see how this entire complex of storms just pretty much vanishes from the reflectivity here by 3 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, May 10th, before they really reach the Little Rock region. So that's what we're going to keep an eye on for tomorrow. We also could have some bigger storms firing up over here into eastern Nebraska, northeast Kansas, even beyond this into the overnight hours from Topeka to Lincoln, North Platte, those areas. We could be seeing some bigger hail producers up there. Those will probably be more elevated thunderstorms overnight, probably not producing much damaging winds, but we could be seeing some bigger hail with that. Quarter size to golf ball size possible up there once we get into southeastern Nebraska, Grand Island, Lincoln, the Kearney region, Broken Bow, Topeka, Emporia, Kansas, maybe Kansas City again. These will just be hail producers going into after midnight. This is 3 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday morning. There's a saying for that. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a case of the Mondays. It feels like a Monday. It's cloudy where I'm at here in Illinois, and it's foggy, and we had a lot of rain last night, so it's kind of a dreary day up here. So it is definitely a Monday, that is for sure. But yeah, that's what we can expect through the day tomorrow and going into the evening hours. So just expect a complex of storms rounding that ridge. The ridge is kind of retreating farther south because of all the complexes of storms that were across the Midwest. That is making the system move a farther south through the middle of the week. So we're seeing this again across the Central Plains. Kansas will probably be the hardest hit state tomorrow with regards to severe weather. Kansas, I'm thinking it could be a pretty interesting day for severe weather. From Wichita to Topeka and Kansas City, I think late afternoon, right around 4 or 5 o'clock, we're really going to be seeing probably a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, big hail, big winds, probably 60, 70 mile per hour winds, quarter to golf ball size hail, maybe even bigger than that in some of these hail cores. And again, a couple tornadoes cannot be ruled out. Definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility tomorrow. But if you are joining me here this evening, be sure to press that like button down below. The more likes we get, I can't stress this enough, the more people who joined this live stream. It's definitely much appreciated. We want to inform everybody about the upcoming severe weather potential and everybody wondering about my summer forecast video. I will be delaying that till later this week due to the active weather pattern, and my utmost priority, the highest priority, will always be on severe weather potential and imminent weather on this channel. So I will back off the summer forecast video until later this week, potentially even as late as this upcoming weekend, until we get rid of this active weather pattern we're in. So the highest priority for the next few days will mainly be for the severe weather potential, and that is pretty much why we are delaying that. So let's look at a couple of these warnings down here into southern. We got a warning in southern Arkansas as well. This is, let's see if I can use this radar. Not the greatest radar though, I'll say that. I gotta find a good radar site here. All right, that's a little better. We got a stronger line segment of storms moving through the El Dorado region into southern Arkansas. This is capable of quarter size hail. 60 mile per hour wind gust though is the main risk. So 60 mile an hour wind gusts followed by quarter size hail. Those are your hazards across portions there of southern Arkansas till 7:15 Central Daylight Time. The movement is southeast at 30 miles an hour. So El Dorado, the Strong area, Callione, Lisbon, Urbana, Lawson, Newell, New London, Pigeon Hill, Hillsboro, and Canova, Arkansas. Those are some of the areas impacted by this as it propagates farther to the south and east. You do have a lot of time for this to kind of take your safe shelter from this storm. It's not moving very quickly, and a lot of this is dropping some very heavy rain. So get ready for ponding of the water on the roadways for sure. So if you're living in El Dorado, watch out. There could be a little bit of a flash flooding threat with this system as well. as it's moving pretty slowly to the south and east around 20 to 30 miles per hour. The most severe part of the storm is right over the El Dorado area, and you can see that here reflected on the echo tops here as well. You can see the tops of these storms around 40, 50,000 feet here, so definitely the hail core is pushing across portions there of El Dorado and just east of Smackover, Arkansas. That is the strongest part of that storm. Velocity, not a good view of it there. See if I could get a... Yeah, the radar is not being so kind to me. Let's look at the Shreveport radar. That's a good one. Yeah, the velocity signature definitely does not have any concerns for tornadoes. So we're not looking at a tornado threat with this whatsoever. Mainly damaging winds and some larger hail. And so this is pushing through El Dorado, moving again to the south and east. Just a line of storms trying to bow out a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts could get introduced with this storm as it pushes to the south and east through El Dorado. A lot of heavy rain, so you're going to see some blinding rainfall with all the strong winds through this region. Definitely looking at that threat for sure. Kaylee says there's rotation northeast of El Dorado Springs in Missouri. Look at El Dorado Springs, Missouri. There's rotation. All right, let's go up here to Missouri and see what we're talking about here. El Dorado Springs. Well, there's El Dorado Springs. Let's look at the velocity. There's not really any rotation there. I'm not seeing anything. This is pretty much sheared out. You see how the greens and reds, they come together, but they're kind of in a straight line like this. That's just a damaging wind threat. No rotation I'm seeing here. And if there is any rotation, it would really pretty much be northwest of El Dorado Springs, and it would be in this area, but that is so broad, I'm not even going to call that rotation, to be honest with you. Yeah, this storm is completely producing damaging winds and large hail. The hail is the main threat here. You have an 1.5-inch diameter, so we're talking ping pong ball, potentially 1 3/4 inches in diameter from time to time. That could be up to golf ball size hail, and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and these are moving very slowly. They're crawling southeast at 15 miles per hour. So, but if you live in Nevada or El Dorado Springs, Missouri, there just north of Joplin, watch out for these storms right along I-49. So if you're traveling from Butler, Missouri down to Joplin toward Nevada there, we could be talking about some bigger hailstones falling from the storm, as well as some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That's pretty much the mode of these storms today, is damaging winds and damaging hail. We're not really seeing too much of a tornado threat today, but there's still, the potential for that still. So we'll watch it, but no rotation I'm seeing with that storm in El Dorado Springs. And a lot of these storms to the east as well, mainly just hail producers and a lot of wind. Yeah, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, half-dollar size hail there. Just to the east of Lebanon and to St. Robert, Rolla, those areas. That's into south central Missouri. Again, this is all southwest of St. Louis. So St. Louis, you're on the northern fringe of the severe thunderstorm watch. And zooming this out, this area, if you can see it outlined here, there is a severe thunderstorm watch in this orangish or pinkish, reddish shaded color. This is for portions of extreme southeastern Kansas, all of southern and central Missouri there, getting into southern Illinois, western Kentucky, and far southwestern Indiana. This includes Evansville, Paducah, getting down there toward Carbondale, just near and south of St. Louis metro area, south of Jefferson City, Joplin, Missouri is included, Springfield, those areas. We're going to be watching you. This watch goes in effect until 11 p.m. this evening, Central Daylight Time. We just had a new warning issued. This does now include the El Dorado Springs area, or just near the El Dorado Springs region. This is for west central St. Clair County and northeastern Vernon County. Again, the movement southeast at 15 miles per hour, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and half-dollar size hail is the hazard. So Walker, Shell City, Harwood, and Tiffin, Missouri. These areas definitely take shelter. We could be seeing some damaging winds over 60 miles an hour there and some half-dollar size hail. So we'll put the loop on here of the radar and show you the movement of these storms. These will be pressing down there toward El Dorado. But we are seeing some flash flooding potential with these storms today because of the slow movement of the storms and a lot of moisture in the environment. These dew points today are in the 50s and 60s. And that is the atmosphere is like a sponge, so it's definitely going to be wringing out lots of heavy rain. What about the storms today through Missouri? Is DeSoto, Missouri going to be okay? I'm not exactly sure where DeSoto, Missouri is. Let me take a look. But I would imagine so. A lot of these storms in Missouri, everybody will be fine in Missouri today. As long as you take shelter and stay away from windows, you will be good. These storms are mainly producing damaging winds and large hail. Yeah, DeSoto, you're in that watch box just south and west of St. Louis. So if you're in DeSoto here, the storms are mainly to your south. The storms are mainly to your south. So you should be good. And a lot of these storms will be moving away from you. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We're doing live severe weather coverage. We're talking about southern Missouri, but we are also bouncing around. We have another severe thunderstorm warning down here in towards southern Arkansas. We have a few severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's get to here into Texas. We have one to the south and east of Abilene here, a supercell producing some 1-inch hail that's quarter size and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts down here. This is until 7:30 Central Time. For southwestern Callahan County and southeastern Taylor County, west central Texas. Very slow movement. Again, not a lot of wind shear in the environment today, so these are moving southeast at 10 miles per hour. So we're watching this storm. This is Abilene right here, and you can see that storm is moving away from the Abilene region, mainly south of I-20, so moving over a lot of open area, which is good news, but we definitely could be seeing some quarter-size hail and some good rushes of wind coming out of the storm there up to 60 miles per hour. Hey, forecaster Mia, thanks for joining. You're welcome, Haley. You're welcome. Yeah, you'll notice a lot of the storms today just producing some damaging hail and some real strong winds. We do have some more storms pushing farther south. I'll have to switch over to the San Angelo radar here. A few storms that have to keep an eye on. We got a decent heavy rain setup here just south of the San Angelo region in this cluster of storms. Definitely seeing some pinks and purples in there. I wouldn't be surprised if that storm is producing some hail, at least some smaller hail. Let's look at the tops here of this storm. Yeah, definitely growing here up to around 46,000 feet. So we could be seeing some, pea, dime, nickel size hail there south of San Angelo toward the El Dorado, Cristoval, Texas region. But yeah, down here toward Menard, Texas, and Junction, north of I-10, we have some pretty tall thunderstorms down here. This is around 51,000 feet. So 51,000 feet, 10 miles up in the atmosphere, folks. So definitely producing some big hail here. And we got more quarter-size hail. That's the 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this storm as well. This is pushing west. So this is kind of a weird movement to this storm. This is moving west at 15 miles per hour. So it's actually pushing away from Mason and actually towards the El Dorado region here. So let's put that into loop. And you can see this really kind of stationary and moving very slowly westbound. This should stay mostly to the south of Menard, Texas. But for the most part, that is what we're seeing is just some damaging hail and strong winds with this storm. Will San Antonio be okay? Yes, San Antonio is good right now. All the storms are well north of you toward Killeen and the San Angelo region. The closest showers or storms that you have is up here toward between San Antonio and Austin, and those are not severe. Mainly just some brief downpours with those showers and storms there. We got a decent hail producer over here, at least special weather statement near the Killeen, Texas region. Gusty winds could knock out some tree limbs, knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Minor damage to outdoor objects possible. Wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and some penny-sized hail. This is moving very slowly. You could walk faster than this storm's moving. It's moving north at 5 miles per hour. So the Briggs, Texas region and Watson, Texas is impacted by this storm. So like I said, a lot of these storms, you could probably walk faster than they're really moving technically. This storm is basically stationary. So if you're moving out of Killeen and down toward the Round Rock area, you might run into some very heavy rain, some 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and some smaller penny-sized hail. So we'll be watching out for this storm as well. Thanks everybody for joining. We're doing live severe weather coverage here on Weather on the Go. Thank you for joining. Again, be sure to press that like button down below and consider subscribing to the channel if you're new. Daily forecast. We'll have another forecast video tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time. We got a severe thunderstorm on the northeast side of the Houston metro area, but the strongest part of the cell just outside of the outer edge of the city here up toward Kingwood and Humble, Texas. This is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 1-inch hail. That's the quarter-size hail there. Movement is southeast at 20 miles per hour. This is for northeast Harris County. Deer Park, Humble, Cloverleaf, Highlands, Channelview, Kingwood, all those areas, be in your safe place. Definitely could be seeing some damaging winds and some large hail with that storm for sure. It's just outside of the Houston metro area. So those are the 3 warnings for the most part we're keeping an eye on, and we also can't forget about this severe thunderstorm warning into southern parts of Arkansas. This is mainly just a damaging wind event down here and toward the El Dorado region. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts is the hazard. I wouldn't be surprised to see some enhanced winds that could be over 60 miles per hour, but we did have a report of quarter-size hail has been reported on the north side of El Dorado with the storm. So we've had an official report from this storm producing quarter-size hail north of El Dorado, Arkansas, just recently, just a few minutes ago. So El Dorado, the Callejon area, Urbana, Lawson, Newell, Hillsboro, and Pigeon Hill. Those are the areas impacted there in far southern Arkansas. This is getting very close to the Arkansas-Louisiana border. All right. So that is the storm we're watching. Any of the other storms over here towards the Sulphur Springs, Texarkana region, and then up there towards the Nashville, Murfreesboro, Arkansas area. Those are not severe, but maybe some smaller hail with those storms. Definitely enough energy for those. But let's get back up here in towards Missouri to check on these storms up to the north. Again, really just producing lots of hail and wind today. It's mainly what we're seeing. So we're going to look at this storm up here again, north and east of Fort Scott, north of Nevada, and north and west of El Dorado Springs. This is in far southwestern Missouri. Decent hail core. You can see the purple showing up here. Definitely seeing the threat for some quarter size or greater type of hailstones within that for sure. Probably lots of hail. This storm is completely sheared out, so we're not talking any rotation with this. You can see how the reds and greens are kind of flat with each other there. We're not talking about anything too crazy. Not seeing any tightening up of any rotation to note, so that's some good news. But look at this storm is growing, guys. This is up to 50,000 feet. Yeah, so 50,000 foot tops with this storm. So whenever you see 45 to 50,000 foot tops, we're talking some big hail. We're talking some big hail. That's for sure. And look at the rainfall that's been produced by this storm as well. The storm is produced up near the Butler area, Appleton City. We've seen rainfall amounts of well over 2 inches. We're talking about 2.5, 2 3/4, maybe up to over 3 inches of rain. Almost 3.5 inches of rain has fallen just south and west of Butler, Missouri. So these storms are very efficient rainfall producers here this evening. So if you get caught under these storms, if you don't see the damaging winds, you don't see the large hail or tornado threat being realized, you probably will be likely seeing some very heavy and torrential rain showers with these as well. So you're definitely going to be seeing some very heavy rain, and these aren't moving very fast either. So when they sit on top of your area, if it's over your community out there, these definitely will be producing lots of heavy rain. So a lot of runoff of the water on the roadways, ponding of water on the low-lying areas there in open fields and farmlands. So definitely watch out for that. Never drive through flooded roadways. It's never a good idea. Never ever do that. And then even farther east, these storms as well in their own right have produced a lot of heavy rain. Just to the south of the Laurie, Missouri area, we've seen up to around 3 inches of rain there. North and west of St. Robert, almost about 2.5 inches of rain has fallen there as well. Getting in towards the Salem and the Salem region, about 3 inches of rain. That's in southern Missouri. So a lot of these storms have produced 1 to 3 inches of rain in a very short amount of time there. So definitely be mindful of a flooding threat developing. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning to note. We have a tornado warning up here in Wisconsin. I did not realize that, folks. My bad. We have severe weather scattered around all over the United States today, so bear with me here. We got north of Lake City, we got a tornado warning here. This is not on the ground. This expires in 1 minute, but it's radar indicated rotation here. But quarter-size hail is possible near the Red Wing area, moving south at 15 miles per hour. So this is moving towards Lake City, right on the Wisconsin-Minnesota state line there. We have a couple of stronger cells back here into southern Minnesota. This is just north and west of Albert Lea. Over the Mapleton area, definitely seeing some stronger rains here. Look at the purples. We definitely have a lot of rain and probably some bigger hail, sub-severe hail, but a lot of it developing. Special weather statement, winds over 30 miles an hour, nickel-size hail. We're probably seeing a lot of nickel-size hail from this storm right now. So if you live in the Mapleton, Minnesota region, we're definitely seeing probably maybe even some roads covered in hail. Definitely a possibility with this. Usually whenever you see the purples on the radar like this and you don't have severe hail, usually it's a lot of small hail. Penny size, nickel size, dime size, stuff like that. And it's a lot of it. So it could be covering the road in some spots. Definitely could make the road look like snow. Northern Iowa, we got a severe thunderstorm warning. This is pointed toward the Forest City, Mason City area. If it holds on here, these are moving very slowly, so we'll just have to see. But this is producing some more quarter-size hail here. Quarter-size hail and maybe up to 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts or so. This is for east central Emmett County, northern Kossuth County, those areas, into north central Iowa. Southeast movement at 25 miles per hour with that storm. Sioux City, Lone Rock, 7:20, 7:30 time of arrival there. That storm as it pushes toward the Sioux City, Bancroft, Burt, Buffalo Center, and the Tatanka area. Unfortunately, I apologize if I cannot pronounce the name of some of these cities correctly, how they're supposed to be pronounced. I apologize for that, but I'll try to pronounce them to the best of my ability as I see them on here. Thank you, everybody, for joining. If you have not yet, press that like button down below. Do so. Let's get to over 100 likes on today's live stream, at least in the next few minutes. Definitely much appreciated. And also consider subscribing to the channel. The Twitter handle is on the screen. Follow me on Twitter at hweather420 or hit the description down below the live stream and follow me on Twitter there for additional weather forecast updates. Definitely appreciate that as well. Yeah, we're quickly growing on this channel. We're over 30,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel here, and we're definitely growing in a big way. And go watch today's video too. A lot of great content on there. I'll be putting a new video out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. My summer video will be coming out momentarily in a few days or so. We got another severe thunderstorm warning into the Mapleton. How ironic is that? There's a Mapleton in western Iowa, and then we have a Mapleton. Interesting. And we have a Mapleton farther north. But so, yeah, we have Mapleton in western Iowa here. This is south and east of Sioux City, and it's well to the north of Omaha here. over the just near the Mapleton area. We're watching for some quarter-size hail. I wouldn't be surprised if this storm could be trying to develop maybe some half-dollar size hail. Some of the hailstones could be a little bit bigger than this warning does suggest. It's either that or there's a lot of hail that is quarter size in this area here. So if you're in Mapleton, watch out. You could get some bigger hail there, quarter to half-dollar size within the next few minutes. Just to the north of you, that strong hail core resides. So what software am I using? Radar Omega. Great radar app. So I definitely highly recommend this for sure. If you're buying, it's you have to buy it, but it's very cheap, very cheap. A lot of great software on here. You could track warnings, watches. Um, Basically has it all: velocity, correlation coefficient, satellite, radar model or weather models rather. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff on here. Will Minnesota get hit? Well, there's definitely there's definitely was a tornado warning up here just east of Red Wing that has been allowed to expire. So if I can switch over to the radar site here, we're still producing some hail. These storms are mainly elevated, but there is a little bit of some surface rooting going on here. There has a tornado possible tag still on this, so we'll watch it. That'll be heading down toward Lake City. Yeah, exactly right. Never stop chasing. Absolutely right. Storm chasers dream across the Great Plains over the next few days. Lots of active severe weather. Really starting tomorrow across Kansas, like I showed you earlier on in the stream. We got an MCS pushing across Kansas down into portions of northwest Arkansas, southwestern Missouri again, and then we have another setup going into Wednesday and Thursday, and basically the same areas there in the Western Plains. So, and a lot of the open areas. So we're talking northeast Colorado, western Nebraska, western Kansas, the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles. So, classic severe weather setup across the Great Plains going into middle and late week. Do I ever scream when I get hyped up? Not usually. Not usually. We got watches here in Killeen, Texas. You got warnings. I don't see any watches. Oh, there definitely could be, though. I could refresh that. Let me see here. Um, maybe it's a tornado watch. I don't see any watch boxes for your area, but there's certainly severe thunderstorm warnings here. The Abilene area, we're definitely seeing a storm up here as well. Like we're saying, we got a decent supercell, a little bit, and I very much say this very loosely with a grain of salt. There's a little bit of an inflow notch here, but I am not concerned about a tornado threat at the moment with this storm. This is mainly just producing hail. We can look at the velocity here. Yeah, this thing is completely sheared off right now, so we're not talking about really any rotation with this storm, but there is some shearing going on here, so that tells me there's more damaging winds than tornadic rotating winds. But we'll watch that storm. Yeah, the Killeen area, we're seeing a big hailstorm over here. We got a warning for 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts into northeastern Burnett County. This is walking to the northwest at 5 miles per hour, guys. This is really slow moving. Like I said, this is the storm you could walk faster than. This is into the Briggs and Watson, Texas region, just to the south and west of, really right over Killeen, but the severe part of the storm is southwest of Killeen right now. So that is the area of concern for sure. So if you're southwest of Killeen, there certainly is the potential for some hail over 1 inch in diameter there. So watch out for that. We got some severe weather south and east of San Angelo in a couple of areas. We have a severe warning near the Junction region. So switching over to the San Angelo radar here, a decent hail core there. You can see the purples just to the south and west of Menard. This is for golf ball size hail, folks. So we could be talking about some big hail. And this storm is a concern because it's not really moving. It's stationary. So a lot of heavy rain. Like I said, isolated flash flooding is possible. And Texas is an area we need rain, but hopefully we don't get too much all at once. Moving cars in the garage, probably a great idea. Just be safe because, lightning can strike 10, 15 miles away from a thunderstorm. Yeah, you don't have to have a thunderstorm, or you don't have to have a severe thunderstorm to have lightning be very impactful. So definitely be safe if you're doing that. Doppler radar's come a long way. It really has. Yeah, absolutely. Always getting a little bit better each and every year, every decade or so. Your grandkids are at Disneyland. I forgot. I didn't mean to skip over your comment there, Linda. My grandkids are at Disneyland. Hope the weather stays nice. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, over here, just east of the Dallas Fort Worth area, north of the Tyler, Texas region, and west of Longview. This is right along and north of I-20 in East Texas. We have more 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds here. This is for northeastern Smith County, southeastern Wood County, southwestern Upshur County, and southwestern Gregg County here. This is until 8:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This storm is also basically stationary, so it's not really moving. A lot of heavy rain, a lot of hail, a lot of wind. So watch out for this storm till 8:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So impacted will be Gladewater, Big Sandy, Hawkins, Clarksville City, Liberty City, Winona, Warren City, and Red Springs. And this is near and northeast of the Tyler, Texas region and west of Longview, Texas. So watch out for that. We do have an extension to the severe thunderstorm warning over here as well into southern Arkansas. I know we're going all over the place. There's tons of severe warnings out right now, all over the United States. So bear with me here. Again, keep pressing that like button. I appreciate it. But yeah, over the El Dorado area into southern Arkansas, we are seeing some 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here for Union County, southeastern Columbia County, northwestern Union Parish, and northeastern Claiborne Parish. That's all in northwestern Louisiana as well. And again, slow movement southeast of 15 miles per hour, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail here. El Dorado, Junction City, Strong, Atlanta, Wesson, Lisbon, the Lawson area, Spearsville, Lilly, Newell, New London, Pigeon Hill, Catesville, New Hope, RL, and Taylorville. Those are the areas impacted by that storm into southern Arkansas and northern Louisiana. So be on the lookout for this storm. Again, half dollar size hail is possible if this does strengthen, but right now only producing some quarter size hail. So mainly a damaging wind and hail threat with this storm for sure. Had the Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm not sure what that means, Alicia. I think autocorrect got the best of you on that one there on the comments. The comment doesn't really make sense. Heavy rain so far here, Michelle says. Yeah, definitely a lot of heavy rain with the storms. A lot of heavy rain with the storms today. A lot of moisture out there. Dew points are in the 60s across a large chunk of the southern United States. How is Buda, Texas looking? I'm not exactly sure where that is, but I definitely will look that up for you. I'm sure you know where it is. I just don't. So let me look that up. Okay, you're south of Austin there. All right, so let's go back down here towards the Austin region. Yeah, you're south of Austin, you're good. So if you're south of Austin towards like the New Braunfels area and San Antonio, there's a little bit of a storm cell trying to develop. We'll have to keep an eye on this. If this develops further here, this could be moving in an environment that could produce some, severe weather, damaging winds, large hail. But right now, we're not concerned about anything there south of Austin yet. Yeah, so like Kyle over here to Wimberley, San Marcos. Yeah, we're not seeing any severe weather right now, but just some downpours developing. Certainly, if this gets a little bit stronger, there could be a warning, as we've seen, scattered across Texas, a couple severe thunderstorm warnings from time to time. Oh, okay, that makes sense now, Alicia. Yeah, the tornado moved right beside your house, but luckily we didn't get hit by it. Absolutely, I'm glad you didn't. Tornadoes are dangerous. Thankfully, you were spared from that tornado. You have hail, Michelle? Yeah, stay away from windows. Some of the hail today could be pretty large. We're seeing some ping pong ball, even some golf ball size hail with some of the bigger storms today. So yeah, we're going to watch those storms. Let's move back up here to the north. Again, we are covering some storms up into northern Iowa as well. So getting back up into the upper Midwest region, we have some stronger storms up into the Iowa area here. This is just north and west of Mason City. This is pushing down in towards the Bancroft, Burt, and Buffalo Center, Tatanka, Iowa area. And this is really the hail core with this is right over Swee City. So if you're in Swee City, Iowa here, Armstrong, you guys are seeing some big hail with this as it propagates farther to the south and east. We're seeing a nice hail core. Again, this says quarter size hail, but this could also be up to $half size. Would not be surprised if you live in east central Emmett County, northern Kossuth County here into northern Iowa. Kossuth County. Some of these names are tough to pronounce, but I try my best, so that's all you can do, right? And that will be pushing closer towards Forest City, Garner, and Mason City if it continues to hold its own. Thanks for joining, Mary, Michelle, Shelby, Tiger. Thanks for joining, Alicia, David, Diane. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Make sure to press that like button down below. The more likes we get, the more people that join the live stream. I appreciate it. Anything going to move to Dallas? I want to see if I need to prepare my camper. Right now, Dallas, Fort Worth, you guys are fine. Uh, there's severe storms well off to the east toward Tyler, Texas, Longview into East Texas there, and then a lot of scattered warnings in like Killeen, Abilene, San Angelo area. But right now, Dallas, Fort Worth, if I turn on the radar there, there's nothing happening. So all across the Metroplex, there's no severe weather or any really storms at all across the entire Metroplex. The closest storms would be the Abilene area over here, and then the Tyler, Texas, Longview area. Other than that, there's a storm popping up northwest of Palestine, down there towards I-45. That one is not severe though, and then there's another storm cell or shower trying to pop up east of Sulphur Springs. But right now, over the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, there is absolutely there's no thunderstorms or showers to speak of at the moment. But we will keep tracking it to see what happens there. Speaking of a metroplex, the east side of Houston, we are seeing a severe thunderstorm warning on the eastern side here of Houston. This is just near and north of the Pasadena area and northwest of Baytown. So we're watching you over here in the east side of the Houston metroplex. We have 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail as the hazard with this storm. So we'll be watching this as well. So northern Pasadena, Deer Park, Cloverleaf, Highlands, Channelview, Crosby, those areas, eastern Houston Metroplex. Watch out for that. We will be seeing some damaging wind potential and hail with that storm. Mainly just 1-inch hail, so quarter size, but that could still do some damage to vehicles and stuff, so watch out for that. Let's get back into southern Missouri where we have the main mode of severe weather for the day so far. Right now, we're mainly seeing these slow-moving storms producing a lot of wind and hail, still well north of Joplin and Springfield, Missouri, and well south of St. Louis. So the storm off here toward the west and just north of Joplin, this one is capable of producing some big hail, 1.25 inches in diameter, so that's about $half size, followed by the threat there for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is for eastern Vernon County in western Missouri. So the Nevada area, Sheldon, Walker, Milo, and Horton, all those are the areas in Missouri. We'll have to watch out for those storms. Mile markers 77 and 101 on Interstate 49. Watch out for that. That's the storm impacting there near the El Dorado Springs area. Farther east, St. Robert to Salem, down toward the Ironton, Fredericktown region. These storms are all producing some quarter to $half size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That is just the main mode of the storms. A lot of the storms today are not going to be producing tornadoes, but we'll continue to watch it for sure. I think, flash flooding is going to be an issue with the storms today for sure as well. So if you get under one of these storm cells, like I've been mentioning, flash flooding will be a concern. just due to the slow movement of the storms and a lot of moisture in the environment. The atmosphere is like a sponge today. We got a lot of dew points in the upper 50s, 60-degree dew points, and who knows, even some low 70 dew points farther south toward Houston. So a lot of moisture to be wrung out from these storms through the rest of this evening. Definitely seeing that. Diane, anything for Trenton, Missouri? I'm not seeing. Let me see where Trenton, Missouri is. Again, I apologize, guys. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with some of these smaller towns here. Oh, you're in northern Missouri. Yeah, you're good. Diane, you're fine up there. Northern Missouri is not seeing any weather right now besides some clearing skies or cloudy skies, depending on where you are there. But yeah, just to the south, well south, you're probably a 3-hour drive south is where these storms are from you. So you're good. How is Tyler, Texas? Where's the storm moving to? Tiger says. Um, the storm is moving it's in East Texas right now. The storm is moving towards it's basically stationary. It's really not moving much. Um, yeah, it's nearly stationary, just near the Gladewater region. 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter size hail here. It's between Tyler, Texas, and Longview, right over Gladewater. That area is seeing probably some flash flooding with the storm right now. I know Texas needs the rain, but they definitely don't need all the rain at once. I know that. And there's going to be, unfortunately, if you guys watch my video, go check it out if you haven't already for today and I will have a new video out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I put videos out every single morning, so if you like detailed weather breakdowns, this is definitely the channel for you. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I will be putting my summer forecast video out later this week. The highest priority right now on the channel is severe weather potential. I will always prioritize severe weather ahead of any long range forecasting. So just know that. That will be, I was going to put my summer forecast video out. It was originally scheduled to be today, but I decided to wait till this upcoming weekend or late this week to do it because severe weather is more important to talk about than a long range forecast. Will that system move to Western Kentucky tonight? Yes. Kentucky, the system up to the north here, yes. Western Kentucky, you are under that severe thunderstorm watch until 11 o'clock late this evening, as well as southwestern Indiana, southern Illinois. So St. Louis to Carbondale, Evansville, Paducah, Hopkinsville, all you guys, Cape Girardeau, you guys are all on that severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. Central Daylight Time this evening. Damaging winds and large hail will be the main mode of severe weather for you. An isolated tornado will also be possible, but they will turn more to a heavy rain and damaging wind threat the farther into the evening we go. So let's go back here to the high resolution guidance. This is the HRRR model. And as we go through the evening hours, you can see this is 9 o'clock. We're going through the 11 o'clock time frame. We could have a couple of showers and storms moving into western Kentucky late this evening. They'll probably be developing right off of the Ohio River Valley there and then pushing to the southeast towards northern Tennessee, 10, 11 o'clock, midnight time frame. That's the time frame we're watching for the storms down there and towards Louisville, Evansville, the Hopkinsville area, Clarksville, Tennessee, those areas, just be on high alert for damaging winds, heavy rain, and some large hail later this evening. At least Arizona has no heat or has no humidity, all dry heat. Yeah, it's pretty hot down there in Arizona if you're in the Phoenix area, probably over 100 degrees for several days now. Probably been over 100 degrees for a while. Where is the San Angelo storm moving to? My dad's town needs the rain. I'll get to that in just a moment, though, in the San Angelo area. But yeah, we're seeing that complex of storms moving across the Tennessee Valley. It will be falling apart, though, as we go through the morning hours tomorrow. So that is what we're seeing. But then the attention turns back to Nebraska tomorrow. You can see a complex of storms develops, and then that will dive southeast into eastern Kansas, Wichita to Topeka, up toward the Kansas City area, Lincoln, Nebraska. Those areas will be at high alert tomorrow for severe storms, damaging hail, damaging winds, a few tornadoes, definitely possible. So watch out. If you live in eastern Kansas, watch out. Just warning you ahead of time. Tomorrow afternoon could get a little bit stormy across those areas. We could be talking about some bigger time storms. I know a lot of areas into western Kansas have been dry. Just wait till later this week. We're going to get lots of rain. I know the Mother's Day weekend time frame, everybody's looking forward to next weekend or this upcoming weekend. We are seeing right now signs of a very active pattern continuing across the southern plains and the southern United States with a lot of heavy rain. And just to show you that here, just real quick, you guys can go watch my video. We're talking about some very heavy rains down here into the upcoming weekend across the Texas Hill Country. So going into the 13th, we got heavier storms pushing through down here into Texas, Oklahoma, and a lot of these areas need the rain. I know you guys are in severe drought, extreme, exceptional drought down here. We need the rain desperately, and that is, again, we need it. So hopefully we can get some very heavy rain across these areas the 13th, 14th, but unfortunately it does coincide with Mother's Day weekend. So unfortunately a lot of heavy rain on Mother's Day all across Texas here, from the Panhandle to the central Texas to East Texas, on up into Oklahoma. We're seeing that through much of Mother's Day itself, and then going into early next week, a week from today, we may try to dry out a little bit. But looking at some of the rainfall totals, though, from now through next Monday, we could be talking about some decent rains with this. You can see down here, again, this model could be wrong, and this is just one model's opinion, but you definitely could be seeing areas of widespread 1 to 3 inches of rain is a good bet. All across Texas, we could have some isolated areas like up near the Red River over 5 inches. This model, for some reason, wants to put a foot of rain down here just east of San Antonio. Just know that this probably will not happen, but it is just showing that the potential is there for some higher end rainfall totals. We'll be fine-tuning this in my forecast videos moving forward. But not only that, we could also be seeing some decent rains over the next couple of days to the north and east as well. Tulsa, we could be seeing up to 3 inches. Oklahoma City, up to 3-4 inches there. Springfield, 2 to 3 inches. Definitely a good time for some rainfall to get some of the grass growing and greening up out here in some of the areas that are drier. So hopefully we can get some much needed rain. Unfortunately, though, we're not seeing much of a signal in western Kansas for much rain. You see a couple hundredths of an inch, a tenth of an inch there. Not close to what we need. We need a lot more rain than that. And it looks like the heaviest rains will be north and south of you. So hopefully we can get some more heavy rains in this area here into western Kansas, down into the Oklahoma, Texas Panhandle. We desperately need the rain in these areas for sure with that exceptional drought. The problem is when you get in an exceptional drought, extreme drought categories, it's very, very tough to get rain. It's so dry, it's very tough to get rain. So hopefully we can get out of that pattern with the dry weather and get back into a pattern with more rain. And I think with the transition to an El Nino, that will occur with time, but we just have to be patient across the Central Plains for now. But that's what we're seeing over the next week. Storm chasers dream across the Great Plains, the Western Plains, especially on Thursday. I'm keeping an eye on for some severe weather potential there. Definitely seeing that going into late week. More storm chasing across the Great Plains for sure. So let's go back to the radar here. Let's check on a couple of the storms down into Texas again. We're checking on another storm. This is south of the Odessa, Texas region. This is east of Fort Stockton. We got a severe thunderstorm with quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We're watching that. That's in central Pecos County, moving northwest. So this has northwest movement at 15 miles per hour with this storm. So watch out for that. If you live in the just east of Fort Stockton, mainly in open areas, so Interstate 10 between mile markers 272 and 283 will be impacted by that storm moving forward through the next, say, 10, 20 minutes or thereabout. We'll see if this storm rains itself out or not. Yeah, we need 5 more subscribers and we'll be at 30,400 subscribers on the channel. I appreciate all the new subscribers and all the recent subscribers, all of the subscribers in total on my channel. I appreciate it. All the support. Yeah, I just redid my Weather on the Go logo. You can see it on the northwest corner of your screen, the top left-hand corner of the screen there. I redid my logo. Looks pretty good. I've been trying to slowly upgrade my channel to become the most accurate weather channel on YouTube, so I appreciate it. And if you guys haven't checked it out, I don't know if it's in the description down below. Let me look here. It is not. You guys can go check out my May forecast video. Lots of great information, temperature, precipitation trends through the end of May. There also is some severe weather potential as well to look for towards the end of May. So we will be watching out for a pattern change again toward the end of May that could lead to more significant severe weather by the last week into May. Thank you, GC, for subscribing. I appreciate it. Logo looks good. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that as well. Thank you. Is Fort Branch getting any severe? I heard we're getting stuff later tonight, but I have not seen anything forming in the area on my radar or on a future radar, Trent says. Fort Branch, Indiana. No, Indiana, you guys are good. As long as you're in southern Indiana, you will have severe storm potential. If you're in northern Indiana, like up here towards the Fort Branch, Fort Wayne area, there's a couple of thunderstorms. But those are just your everyday type of garden variety storms. We're not seeing any of those turning severe. Very stable up here. And these storms will be after sunset. These in the next hour or two. These will probably be losing their luster and really falling off the radar pretty soon. As with the loss of the energy, loss of instability, and insulation from the sun, we will be losing the potential for even just general thunderstorms up here into northern Indiana with time. Yeah, absolutely. I know the farmers have been in the fields, Mary, up here into my area into Illinois, but they've been in the fields when it was dry last week. But with all the rain, they definitely enjoy the rain, especially if they got their crops planted, the beans, the corn, all that stuff. Definitely some good news to get some rainfall, especially after planting in the fields. So hopefully we get a good crop out of a lot of the crops this year. Michelle says, what about East Tennessee late tonight? I think late tonight, Eastern Tennessee, you could have some severe storms. Let's go back over here to the HRRR model and show you what we're talking about. So looking at the reflectivity, this is what the radar could look like. Again, the model is just a simulation of the radar, so it won't look exactly like this. So for example, if you see a storm over Nashville on this model, doesn't mean the storm will look exactly like that, but it just gives you a general idea. So going through late this evening, all the storms are into Kentucky, central, western Kentucky to be particular, into western Tennessee. This is through midnight. We have a couple of cells pushing into eastern Tennessee there as we go along the I-40 corridor from Nashville to Crossville there to Knoxville, a couple of storms developing. Those may produce some hail after midnight, but then we could have a line of storms move through eastern Tennessee during the wee hours of the morning. This will be across the Cumberland Plateau up here toward Knoxville, the Smoky Mountains region, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, be waking up to some thunderstorms. And then by the time we get to 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, we're clearing out across middle and eastern Tennessee, with maybe an exception of a storm pushing through north of the Knoxville region through mid-morning. Other than that, we should be good after mid-morning there into eastern Tennessee. So it looks like about 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. is your prime time for heavy rain and thunderstorms with some strong storms possible into eastern Tennessee, but those will mainly be producing lots of lightning, heavy rain, and maybe some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail and a storm or two, but a widespread severe weather threat is not expected into eastern Tennessee. Sure, Tiger, what do I want to know? Will summer be clear or is it in between? What is it now? I will have my summer forecast out later this week. I'll be highlighting that. I'm still working on that video. I have a few extra days to work on that. Because of the severe weather potential, the highest priority on this channel is to cover severe weather, to keep you guys informed about the imminent weather out there. A long range forecast can hold off till later this week because I want to prioritize severe weather over that. So that will be late this week. I'm thinking between Wednesday and Saturday. So somewhere in that time frame, I'll put my summer forecast video out. It'll be a surprise to you as it is to me when I do it. So, but it will be out later this week. And I'll be highlighting temperature, precipitation trends across all of North America, not only just the United States, but also southern Canada and the tropics we'll be talking about. And we'll be going over severe weather trends as well. When you can expect heat waves, stuff like that, later this week. We need a massive storm on the southern on May 11th. Why May 11th, Max? Yeah, you're welcome, Michelle. Absolutely. Thank you for asking. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, definitely do not hesitate to ask. I will try to get to as many questions as possible. I always am open to answering questions on live stream. So, yeah, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning here. This is just to the south of DeQueen into southwestern Arkansas. Very slow movement on this storm, as all of them have been. Northwestern Little River County, southwestern Sevier County, and east central McCurtain County into southwestern Arkansas. This is moving west, so this is actually moving from Arkansas in towards the Oklahoma side of things here for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Winthrop, Eagletown, Moon, America, Goodwater, West Line, Shinewell, and West Otis. Those areas are going to be impacted with some quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here within the next half an hour or so. So definitely be mindful of that storm. That's right on the Arkansas-Oklahoma state line. Yeah, be sure to follow me on Twitter. It's on the screen or in the description down below for periodic updates on Twitter. I'll be reposting and retweeting some storm-related pictures and reports and stuff like that moving forward. And I'll also have my synopsis every once in a while on the forecast on there. And also you can relay that to my videos every morning. I'll have great information on the upcoming pattern tomorrow morning again, an update. Yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the notification bell. Definitely helps out with a lot of these live streams and videos in the morning. So another update here on near the Tyler, Texas area. That storm, let's move down to the Shreveport radar here. This storm is mainly producing some hail, but also some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. At 7:20, so this was about a half hour ago or so, nickel-size hail was reported in Hawkins, Texas. However, the storm has intensified since and is likely producing quarter-size hail or larger. That is what the National Weather Service is saying. It's also a stationary storm, nearly stationary here across that area. Big Sandy, Hawkins, Winona, and Red Springs, Texas is impacted by this. Between Tyler and Gilmer, those areas, and just west of Longview, we're watching that strong storm dumping a lot of heavy rain. I'm actually curious, how much rainfall has this storm actually dropped? Let's see. Yeah, just west of Longview, this storm already has produced, look at that, guys, almost 4 inches of rain, 3.82 inches just west of Longview, Texas. So we're already seeing some real big rainfall totals from a lot of these storms today. Because of weather on the go, great forecast. I put my garden plants in 2 weeks early. There you go. How about that? Absolutely. Got to get the garden going. Yeah, it looks like up there in Wisconsin, it looks warm for the next couple of weeks. There may be some cool spells, I think, toward the middle of May, but I'm not expecting frost. I'm not expecting freeze, but there definitely could be some cooler mornings in the 40s and 50s over there. And when I say 40s, I'm thinking probably mid to upper 40s, so 45 or higher for degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm not concerned about any frost or freezes. But there will be a lot of warmer weather too. A lot of 80s on the way there in Wisconsin. So whatever you put in the garden will be growing in a big way over the next couple of weeks for sure, especially with all the rainfall that some of these areas have seen. Where are you expecting Chicago only getting 5% chance of hail yesterday? Certainly surprised me. Well, hail was the main threat from a lot of the storms yesterday. The reason for that is because the CAPE values, the convective available potential energy, it's what we call thunderstorm fuel or thunderstorm food, whatever you want to call it. It was very extreme yesterday. We had 3,000 to 4,000 joules per kilogram of energy there yesterday, and man, those storms were taking advantage of every bit of that, producing some big hail. All right, just south and west of Killeen, we are seeing another couple of warnings, still producing some half-dollar size hail here. Trained weather spotters are confirming that. So we have trained weather spotters confirming 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail just southwest of Killeen, Texas. So if you were traveling from Killeen toward the Burnett area or down toward Round Rock, you're probably seeing some darkening skies to the west-southwest of Killeen and definitely seeing some bigger hail there to the southwest of the city. Yeah, the Minnesota border up there, up near Iowa, Minnesota state line, lighting up with some storms. Absolutely. Is Mother's Day going to be severe for Louisiana, Indiana? My parents are heading down there for my nephew's graduation, and I don't want them caught in bad weather. For where? Louisiana. You guys are going to be good in Louisiana and Indiana. Mother's Day, it will be rainy down into Texas, maybe some rain into Louisiana, but I am not currently expecting any severe weather. So you guys should be good. If your parents should be all right there, just have to dodge some raindrops. That's all. And most of the heavy rain anyway will fall in central and west Texas where they desperately need it. So that's some good news. I think the heaviest, most steady rain will be across western Texas, some Amarillo to Lubbock to Midland, Odessa to the Abilene region. Those are the areas where we could see some real heavy rain. Austin, San Antonio. We could see some double digit totals. Not out of the realm of possibility going through the next 7 to 10 days, but um, at least 2 to 4 inches is a good bet. Some areas could see half a foot or more of rain. Definitely possible if you see multiple rounds of storms in central Texas Hill Country here. I'll have an update on that in the morning for my videos, 9 a.m. How do you think Owensboro, Kentucky is going to be affected? I'm not sure where Owensboro is. I've heard of Owensboro before, but let me see where that's at so I could give you an accurate reading on what I think will occur. Okay, so not too far from Evansville there. All right, that's why I know where Owensboro is. That's because there's a severe warning just to your southwest. So speaking of Owensboro, we have a severe thunderstorm warning just to your south and west. So let's track that as well. A decent supercell all by itself, but we're only seeing some big hail with this. This is only producing quarter-size hail south and west of Owensboro. And your question was, yeah, Owensboro, if you see any storms, it'll be damaging winds and large hail. An isolated tornado will be possible. Other than that, I'm mainly concerned about the hail threat here, especially the storm just south and west of Owensboro, located over the Dixon area or 13 miles southeast of Breckenridge Center. The movement is southeast at 30 miles per hour, so surprisingly, it is moving a lot quicker than the storms that are farther off into Missouri. So the Madisonville, Calhoun, Seabury, Dixon, Hanson, Sacramento, and Slaughters, Kentucky area, be on the lookout for that along Interstate 69 in Kentucky between mile markers 119 and 136. These storms will definitely be producing some big hail. This is just southwest of Owensboro. So if you still have any light outside, look outside your window toward the south and west there of Owensboro, toward the Providence, Madisonville region. Right along I-69, you're going to be seeing some darkening skies, probably some flashes of lightning potentially from Owensboro with that storm out there. And let's see, let's put the radar in loop to see where this storm is going. Yeah, it's moving south and east, so it's moving away from Owensboro, actually down here towards, it's going to be crossing I-69, so through the Dixon area, Calhoun, and Livermore. Those areas will be impacted by this storm. And then down here towards Central City, Hartford, Beaver Dam, watch out along I-165. We could be seeing that as well, and I-69 down toward the Central City region. So watch out for that storm over the next couple of hours as it continues to propagate to the south and east. Apparently, there's 4-inch hail reported in Iowa during the weekend. Isn't that the size of 4-inch hail? That is the size of 4-inch hail. That's about, I think, softball to grapefruit size. I do believe. Yeah, because baseball size hail is, 4-inch hail is softball size hail. 4.5 inches is grapefruit, and CD DVD size is up to around 5 inches in diameter. So, yeah, you were talking about large apple to softball size hail there into Iowa, if that was true. Ostrich eggs, yeah, that could be true as well. Ostrich eggs are pretty large. But I think how the National Weather Service measures it is large apples or softball size. Yeah, there's some bigger hail. I think it was in Texas a couple of weeks ago that was like grapefruit size. I want to say it was like 4.5 or 5 inches in diameter, if I'm not mistaken. If somebody can confirm that, I think it was. I'll have to go back and look, but yeah, we got a couple more severe thunderstorms back here into Missouri. We got a new severe storm warning up toward the Sullivan, Missouri area, not too far to the south and west of St. Louis and just west of Festus, Missouri here. This is for 1-inch diameter hail, so that's the quarter size hail, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. It is moving, but it's moving slow to the east at 15 miles per hour here. Sullivan, St. Clair, Bourbon, the St. Cloud and Stanton, Missouri area. Interstate 44, Missouri, between exits 218 and 230. So watch out there. That storm is pushing closer to Festus, Missouri, and I-55 there shortly. Otherwise, just a lot of heavy rain. And we go over to the rainfall here. How much rain these storms have produced. Down towards the St. Robert, Rolla, and the Salem, Missouri area, we've already picked up over 3 inches of rain, about 3.5 inches there in towards the Salem area, just north and east of Salem, Missouri. 3.50 inches of rain. So a lot of heavy rain with the slow movement of these storms for sure. So watch out for ponding of the water on the roadways, runoff of water, low-lying areas being flooded out in some of these areas. So watch out. Are you talking about what you says? What is this website? Are you talking about the application I'm using? This is Radar Omega. I think it's like $8 or $9. You can purchase it on a smartphone, a laptop, a tablet, anything. So it's like a small charge of like $8 or $9. Great radar app though. You can see watches, warnings, precipitation totals of snowfall totals, rainfall totals, hail. You can see hail sizes on here, echo tops, how tall thunderstorms are. A lot of cool features on here. The satellite view, you can get weather models on here from the HRRR to the NAM model to the GFS, the European guidance, stuff like that. So very good application. It's called Radar Omega. Highly recommend it. You're on a computer, so yeah, you can get on a computer. It should be about $8 or $9. I'm not exactly sure how expensive it is now, but it's very, very cheap, guys. It's like, it's not more than $15. I know that for sure. I know when I purchased it, it was like I think $9 or $10, so it's not too big of a deal. Do you think northern Austin, Texas will have bad weather? So let me zoom out here and go back to Austin. So we're talking about Austin. Yeah, north of Austin, like towards Killeen, Texas here, we are seeing some stronger storms. And your question was, do you think North Austin will have I don't think if you're talking North Austin, like Round Rock area, Lakeway, we're not seeing any storms currently. The closest storms is up here toward the Killeen region, west of Killeen, Burnett towards the Burnett area. So we're seeing half-dollar size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this. You've driven through my state before, Illinois? Yeah. Is Nashville going to be affected by the storm at all that's going around the U.S.? Yes. The storm tonight, Nashville, you're going to see thunderstorms after midnight. So you're talking about midnight to about 4 a.m. Nashville, yes, you're going to see some storms around the I-40 corridor there. Nashville to Murfreesboro to Cookeville, Crossville, those areas, you guys will be seeing some stronger thunderstorms with heavy rain, frequent lightning, some hail, and damaging winds later on after midnight. Yeah, you're welcome, Adriana. Absolutely. Thanks for the question. Do you know the 1953 tornado in Waco? No, I do not. I'm not familiar with that. I am not familiar with that. You're on your phone, Mary? Yeah. Yeah, you can get it on a phone too. It's not just a computer or tablet. You can get Radar Omega, the application right now that I'm using with Radar on a phone as well. Same charge. It's $8 or $9 or $10 on a phone, a computer, a tablet, stuff like that. I'll let you go. I keep losing my internet. Have a great evening, Weather on the Go, and fellow weather watchers. Well, thank you for joining, Linda. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support and joining the live stream this evening. Hopefully, you can get your internet back. I appreciate you joining. Have a great rest of your Monday. I'll have a new video out tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm just looking over storm reports here. Honestly, there's a lot of hail reports coming in, so we're seeing a lot of hail reports coming in for sure. A lot of them. I mean, there's a lot of quarter-size hail. I'm just looking at the Storm Prediction Center storm reports here, and we are seeing. Let's see here. I just lost the page. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of hail reports in south central Missouri, northwestern Iowa, up there toward northwest Wisconsin, and down toward the Houston metroplex there. Trained weather spotters confirming 1.75 inches of diameter hail to a few 2-inch stones of hail, 2-inch diameter hailstones there in southern Missouri. So a lot of golf ball sized hailstones there. Yeah, most of the storm reports are hail related. Wait, what's this? Oh no. Unfortunately, there's very unfortunate news coming in here from the storm reports that I'm looking at in Texas. There was one fatality. Law enforcement reported that a tree fell on a vehicle near the intersection of. Oh wow! So yeah, an intersection. There was a tree that fell on a vehicle. Law enforcement confirmed there in Harris County, Texas. One fatality, unfortunately. So that is not good news. That's why it's important to move indoors from storms, and hopefully, you're not in a vehicle. When will the live stream end? Are you ready for me to end the live stream already? Are you? You tired of me already? Yeah, probably here shortly on the live stream. Not right now though. The tornado in Moore, Oklahoma, yeah, I know that tornado. I know both of the EF5s that happened in Moore, Oklahoma. Yeah. So yeah, we're keeping an eye on these storms. We still have that warning east of Fort Stockton over here into west central Texas. This storm is still capable. It's really raining itself out right along I-10 here. I mean, The hail core is still there, potentially up to quarter size hail, but this thing is falling apart. I only see reds and yellows on here. I'd be surprised if it's really even producing quarter size hail anymore, but we'll still watch this, mainly probably for wind, kind of gusting itself out, falling apart. Yeah, make sure if you haven't pressed the like button, definitely press that like button down below, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to continue to keep track of the storm into western Kentucky, southwest of Owensboro. This one's a supercell here. This is producing bigger hail now. We're talking ping pong ball size hail here and 60-mile-per-hour straight line winds. This is southeast movement at 35 miles per hour, just south and west of Owensboro. Madisonville, Calhoun, Seabury, Dixon, Hanson, Sacramento, and Slaughters, Kentucky. Right along Interstate 69 there. Mile markers 119 to 136. If you're in Owensboro, though, you're probably seeing a couple of heavier rain showers, especially the southern side of town, as this pushes right along the interstate there. I do not line her up. I have no idea. Yeah, John, absolutely. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Unfortunate. And that goes to show you that a slight risk day of severe weather could still be just as dangerous as a moderate or high risk day of severe weather. Anytime you have a thunderstorm, and I don't even care if it's a severe weather risk, you definitely still have to watch it. Lightning is always a danger as well. So lightning can strike 10 to 15 miles away from a thunderstorm. So that's why we always say move indoors. Does a lot of rain mean no severity? No, a lot of rain. Just a lot of these storms are just producing a lot of rain because of the high dew points today. Dew points are in the 60s. A lot of moisture content in the environment today. Yeah, we're watching a couple of these storms. Decent hail core still. These storms have been going real strong over here really for the last hour or two across Fort Scott, Nevada, El Dorado Springs, just north of Joplin, Missouri. And these storms have been moving over the same areas. I'm really worried about a flash flooding threat with these storms, but also the threat for some very big hail as well. I mean, we're talking about, let's see how tall these storms are here. About 45,000 feet here. Fort Scott, we're up to about almost 50,000 feet. We're up to 48,000 foot tops there over the Fort Scott area. So, yeah, we're talking about some big hail. And the warning over the Fort Scott region, it says an inch in diameter, but I mean, it's either a lot of quarter size hail or maybe even $half size hail potentially falling from that one. We do have $half hail public report of that there just near the Nevada, Missouri area. When did that happen? What, with the tree falling on the vehicle in Texas? Earlier on today, I do believe. That was on the rolling storm reports on the Storm Prediction Center's page. No, well, there's a saying, Alicia. The saying is when thunder roars, go indoors. That's just how I remember it. I don't know anything about electricity in the hair, though. Do you remember the March 21st, 2022 tornado breakout? I do. You mean March 31st? Oh, okay, you're talking about last year. I know there's a high risk of severe weather in two areas, March 31st of this year. Yeah, the storms officially up there into Wisconsin, up northwest of Rochester toward Red Wing, those areas, um, those storms are not severe warned anymore. But we're definitely still seeing a warning to the west there of Mason City and just north of Fort Dodge, West Bend, Iowa, toward the Humboldt region. We have the threat for quarter size hail here, the movement southeast at 35 miles per hour with this storm. So we're definitely watching out for the potential of some bigger hail with this storm for sure. So if you live in the West Bend area, the storm's moving through right now, and then the Odison region at 8:10, so within a minute or actually just right now, basically moving through the Odison region. Also, the storm's path includes the Bradgate area, Gilmer City, Rutland, Dakota City, Humboldt, and the Humboldt Municipal Airport. So if you live near those areas, take shelter now. We have some bigger hail. You can see the hail core there right over West Bend. So if you're living in West Bend right now into Iowa, we are seeing some bigger hail right now there. Yeah, we're only a few likes away from 200. So if we could get to 200 likes on today's live stream, I would appreciate that. So make sure to press the like button if you have not already. If you're just joining the live stream, we're doing live severe weather coverage. Be sure to press the like button down below. Yeah, let's put a tracker on this storm here. I think it's at 35 miles per hour. Yes, it did. So let's all right. Just making sure the movement on the storms here. All right. Well, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. All right. Let's see. So this is moving to the south and east at 35 miles per hour here. So towards Highway 20. And why is it not working? Let's see. It's not working the way I wanted it to here. I'm trying to put a tracker on the storm, but my computer is not being very nice to me right now. There we go. All right, so the Rutland area in about 16 minutes, Humboldt in 23 minutes. That does include the Humboldt Municipal Airport. Dakota City in 25 minutes, and the Badger area in about 38 to 40 minutes. So watch out for that. And if it holds on, it will be approaching the Fort Dodge area, or just to the east side there of the city of Fort Dodge, in 47 minutes. Okay, 47 minutes from now, we could be seeing that storm in the Fort Dodge area. So make sure you're moving indoors for that storm. Yeah, I may be going live periodically throughout the week. We have more severe weather potentially tomorrow. I probably will be going live tomorrow at some point in the afternoon or evening. So watch out for another live stream, another chance to hit that subscribe button and also notification bell to get that live stream for tomorrow. I'll probably be going live for that. Yeah, Florence, Alabama, you're good. There's no severe weather in your area there. Yeah, Florence, Alabama, you're good. You may have some storms in the morning, but those will likely not be severe. So let's get down here again into the Arkansas region. Do have a storm pushing through here near the DeQueen area. Again, quarter size hail, 60 mile per hour wind gusts is the hazard with this storm for sure. So we'll continue to watch it as it continues to push across portions there of the DeQueen area. And actually, the movement on the storm is towards the west. So it's moving west at about 15, 20 miles per hour. Not moving very quick, but it's going to be moving toward the Idabel area there into southeastern Oklahoma near the Red River. The Red River is right here. And so you continue to see that move toward the Idabel region. Good news is the storms down on the eastern side of the Houston Metroplex has been allowed to expire. Those have rained themselves out. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning here to the south and west of Killeen. Nice line segment here of storms. These are kind of have a weird movement to them as well. They're pushing more west. These storms are moving west at 15 miles per hour. Trained weather spotters at 8:06. So this was just at about 10 minutes ago or so. Have reported half dollar size hail near the Bertram area into Texas. So Burnett, Lake Victor, the Sunny Lane, the Watson and Shady Grove area in Texas. Watch out for some damaging winds and hail. That's what we'll be seeing here over the next half an hour for those areas. Yeah, we're only about 20 subscribers away. We're 20 subscribers. It's a Monday, guys. I tell you. We're 20 likes away from 200. We're 20 likes away from 200. That's what I wanted to say. You guys ever had a case of the Mondays where you can't talk sometimes? That's me today. That is definitely me today. Yeah, the worst of the storm has missed Owensboro to the south and west. That's the most severe part of the storm is west southwest of Owensboro. It's going to stay to your south and west. Owensboro, you're just going to see some heavy rain. If those showers or thunderstorms get a little stronger over Owensboro because they're not moving very quick, then yeah, we could be seeing a severe warning come out for those. But right now, not too concerned about that. I want to know why the storm near Denison, Iowa, isn't severe warned. Uh, Denison, Iowa. Where's Denison, Iowa? This storm, because it's not producing any severe criteria. Um, it's not producing quarter-size hail or damaging winds. A storm can look menacing on a radar, but if it's not producing quarter-size hail or 58 mile per hour or greater winds, then it's not going to be characterized as a severe thunderstorm. And this certainly doesn't have any rotation on it because if I go over here to relative velocity, you can see completely no rotation on this storm at all. But I do agree with you. It's probably strengthening a little bit, but I don't think it's severe. You can see the echo tops. They're not quite there yet. They're only up to around 39, maybe just touching up to 40,000 feet. So I would assume that if this storm continues to grow in intensity with, the tops of these storms getting closer to say 45, 50,000 feet, then yeah, we could be talking about a problem here. This could be a problem with some large hail and damaging winds. And I do think there could be a warning out with this storm soon if it does continue to strengthen. It's not the tallest storm I've ever seen yet, but and let's see what's happened. Let's look at the echo tops and go over the past few minutes with this. So over the past few minutes, yeah, the storm has just popped up. It kind of weakened a little bit and it's starting to strengthen back again right over the Denison region. I zoom in, you can kind of see that here. You see that how it was. You saw the yellows right in there, north and west of Denison toward Mapleton. It was actually severe earlier on, back toward Mapleton. It had a warning on it earlier, and then now it's moving toward Denison. It kind of falls apart, and then you see the oranges come back there, and it kind of comes and goes with that. So it strengthens, then it weakens. That's how a thunderstorm's life cycle happens. Yeah, look at this, guys. Look at the hail core with this storm just to the south and east of West Bend, Iowa. This is in Iowa here. Look at the blues starting to show up. Whenever you're seeing blues like that, you're definitely seeing either very large hail or a lot of quarter size hail. And this has 1 inch hail as the threat. We could be seeing a lot of quarter size hail, potentially even, looking like snow on the roads here into northern Iowa with the hailstorm potentially. And I wouldn't even be surprised if we're seeing even half dollar size hail criteria here with this storm. Definitely a lot of hail for sure. Whenever you see the deep purples and the blues like that, we're always talking about a lot of hail or a lot of big hail. So Terry says orangish color sky in Hillsboro, Missouri. Really, that's pretty cool. I think with the sun setting, got a little bit of that background of the orangish sky there. It's pretty awesome. You could always send me a picture of that sky if you want to on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you can send it to me. I would appreciate that. Do I think there will be a severe thunderstorm watch in Texas? No, I don't think so. Because the storms in Texas are just going right now until sunset, and then they will fall apart rather quickly, as we're already seeing towards like the Houston area. These storms are all falling apart as we speak, right down here into Texas. There's still some stronger storms like down toward the Ballinger, Brownwood, Texas area, just southwest of Killeen, and then a warning just north of Tyler, Texas. But these will be fading away rather soon with the loss of the instability after sunset here. So within the next hour or two, I'd say through about 10 o'clock, we could see some stronger storms here in Texas, and then Definitely falling apart with the loss of the energy and the instability today once that sun goes down completely. I'm showing the area next to Killeen. Yeah, that's what you're seeing right now. We're seeing that warning there just to the west of Killeen, the Burnett area, Highway 281. Still seeing a decent storm. Don't get me wrong. We're still seeing trained weather spotters confirmed at 8:06. This was just 10, 20 minutes ago. $50 size hail and near the Bertram area. So this is still capable and possibly even still producing some $50 size hail and some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This has a weird movement on it too. It's moving west it's moving west. A lot of storms don't move west, but it's moving west at 15 miles per hour. How severe will it be in Kentucky? The severe storms will be moving through Kentucky here. There's already one severe storm. I do believe it's still there near the Owensboro region here. Yeah, we still have that. Western Kentucky in particular, central and eastern Kentucky, more hit and miss with the storms tonight. I think if you live in the Paducah area, Hopkinsville, Madisonville, Owensboro, maybe as far east as the Bowling Green, Elizabethtown, Louisville region, we could be talking about some stronger storms. Other than that, if you're basically east of a line from Cincinnati to Lexington down to Knoxville, you guys are good into Kentucky. I'm not too worried about severe weather for you. There could be some stronger storms, but all in all, a lot of these areas really, if you're in the severe weather risk in western Kentucky, to be quite honest, it's just large hail and damaging winds. Quarter size hail mainly, a few isolated $50 to ping pong ball size hailstones, and some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Not the most severe storms we've ever seen, but still, you always have to take it seriously. Yeah, we're 8 likes away from 200. I'd appreciate to hit 200 likes here. Press that like button, guys. Appreciate it. So by 10 o'clock, these storms should die out. Yeah, across portions of south central Texas, those storms should fade away um, towards about 9, 10 o'clock here. So not too long from now. Very thankful to be getting rain in Fort Scott, Kansas. It's been very dry here. I know. Yeah, it's especially western Kansas. I know you guys are an extreme and exceptional drought into western Kansas, but yeah, even eastern Kansas, we got a little bit of some drought concerns as well. You guys will be seeing some rain over the next several days. Probably not as much as Texas. I know down here in the Texas Hill Country and the Panhandle of Texas, we'll be seeing more, 2 to 4 inches worth of rain. But there will be some areas that do see a couple inches of rain across the lower Missouri Valley over the next 7 to 10 days. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. More severe weather potential as well. I'll have another video out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell for my video that comes out tomorrow. All my videos in the mornings will always come out at 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Always, every morning. And I know I've said this 1,000 times on the live stream today, but I'll say it again. The summer video will be out later this week or this weekend, all right? That'll be out. So make sure you're watching out for that. That'll be out later this weekend. Or later this week in general. Southwest of St. Louis is looking, southwest of St. Louis, there's some stronger storms there just to the west of Festus, Missouri. We're seeing just kind of a clustering of some semi-organized storms. The strongest storm by far is down here just west of Fredericktown. This is for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail, moving southeast at 40 miles per hour. Has a nice push of wind with it. Has a little bit of a bow echo feature trying to show up there. We'll continue to watch that, but we also do have some storms west of Festus, Missouri, to the Sullivan region and Cuba there into southeastern Missouri for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Thank you, guys. We got to 200 likes today. Appreciate it. Thank you. Will it be really bad here in Western Kentucky to have tornado? No, I don't. I'm not. There could be an isolated tornado, but that is by far the secondary threat for storms. And to be quite honest, I don't think we're going to see really many tornadoes tonight, really anywhere in the United States. There's just the wind shear is very low, so we're not seeing too much of a tornado threat. Yeah, you can see the storms, the decent complex of storms getting going there in southeastern Missouri. Absolutely. Southwest of St. Louis, we're seeing a lot of warnings. Is there going to be any severe thunderstorm in Dallas? I don't think so. A lot of the storms are dying out right now into Texas. They're not really, we're not seeing any big severe weather potential in the Dallas Fort Worth area tonight. Maybe later this week, but even then, probably more heavy rain than severe weather. Yeah, any organized severe weather potential in Dallas Fort Worth is not there for tonight. Let's check on this storm back up here in Iowa once again. Yeah, this is getting closer to the Humboldt, Iowa area. This is north of Highway 20, getting closer to Fort Dodge. Still have the threat for some quarter-size hail and a lot of it there, moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. So the trajectory of this storm will be pushing southeast towards Fort Dodge here and towards Highway 20. So we'll be watching that. We could have a warning extension down toward Fort Dodge soon if this continues to maintain its structure and intensity. Yeah, and then the storm over here in Denison, just some heavy rain and some probably cloud to ground lightning. We're not talking about anything too crazy. Smaller sub-severe hailstones over here. That's about all she wrote with that one. So that's pretty much what we're seeing with a lot of these storms: hail, damaging winds, and a very low potential for tornadoes. That's pretty much what we're seeing all across the United States in pockets here tonight. One pocket of those are up into the upper Midwest. One pocket down into the Texas Hill Country. Those will be fading away within the next couple of hours. And then a more organized, relative organization of storms down here into southeastern Missouri. And even these storms we only have 3 warnings. So we'll see what happens. We have the warning that has just expired to the southwest of Owensboro. So that's good news. So right now, the main severe weather area with the most organization of severe storms in the country right now is in southeastern Missouri, with this line and clustering of storms just to the southwest of St. Louis. This severe thunderstorm watch goes until 11 o'clock this evening. Okay, we just have a new warning issued there toward the Owensboro area. A new warning has just been issued here. This is just south and west of Owensboro toward Madisonville, getting very close to the radar. But we have some $half size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts near the Madisonville region, moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. Madisonville, Central City, Powderly, Graham, Greenville, Hanson, Drakesboro, Sacramento, Bremen, and South Carrollton. Those areas there in Kentucky, watch out, especially if you live along Interstate 69 in Kentucky, between mile markers 110 and 126, and Western Kentucky Parkway between mile markers 43 and 64. So watch out for that. That's moving away from Owensboro and Evansville there eventually toward the Bowling Green area, but they're still a ways away from there as well. Got a nice cluster of storms down here just to the west of Brownwood, Texas, right over the Coleman area. Coleman, Texas. We have in Coleman County a storm capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour straight-line winds and quarter-size hail here. So we're monitoring these storms for sure. They push to the southeast at 25 miles per hour. If you live in the Moselle area, Fisk, Echo, Shields, and Hordes Creek Reservoir area, watch out for this, especially if you live over Coleman, Texas. Very heavy torrential rain, some big winds up to 60 miles an hour, and some quarter-size hail here. Definitely be mindful of that. You're from Minnesota, just north of Minneapolis, Kevin. Thank you for letting me know. Appreciate it. Yeah, up into Minnesota, we're not seeing really any storms that are too severe right now anymore. So that's some good news. And that same thing like in Texas, up there in Minnesota, a lot of the storms will be fading away here rather soon, the next hour or two, if anything, because the instability will be falling apart. Yeah, most of the storms in Texas are becoming more rain. I gotcha. Yeah, so tonight basically we're just seeing just some severe storms with some hail, some damaging winds, and a very low potential for tornadoes. Other than that, I think most of the areas will be quieting down here in the next couple of hours. The most organized severe weather potential here going through the rest of tonight will be basically up here. I'll circle it across portions of Missouri and into the lower Ohio River Valley, and this will drift off towards the south and east as we go into the morning hours. So in towards the Little Rock region, Memphis, Nashville, Knoxville, those areas. Just be watching out into your Tuesday morning commute for some stronger storms, some heavy rain. Isolated flash flooding may be there, especially if some of these storms are moving slow enough. But I think they may pick up a little bit of steam towards the morning hours on Tuesday, pushing farther to the south and southeast there. Yeah, I remember you, Vezer. Yeah, I mean Radar Scope does a good job as well. I'm just using Radar Omega. But yeah, in this area here, just be watching out for some storms overnight tonight. And the kind of time that's out for you, if you live in these areas in southern Missouri, in an area like this, I'd say through about 11 o'clock tonight, watch out for storms. If you're in Little Rock to Memphis to Nashville, I'd be watching out by about 2 to about 4 o'clock in the morning in those areas. And then farther to the south from there, I'd be watching anytime after about 4 o'clock onward through the morning. We will be seeing more of the storms dropping to the south. Okay, so that is basically the timeline in which we will see the storms moving through, give or take an hour or so from the times I put on there. But mainly 11 o'clock to around midnight or so across the lower Missouri Valley and towards like western Kentucky, southern portions of Indiana, then getting into north central Arkansas and western and middle Tennessee by about 2 to 4 a.m., and then south of there into northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, North Georgia by about 4 a.m. onward. All right, so that is the general timeline in which those storms will be pushing through. Harrison, Arkansas, anything coming our way? Darcy says. I'm not sure where that is. Let me look where Harrison, Arkansas is here. Again, a lot of these smaller cities, I'm not too aware of where these are. Yeah, I just mentioned. Yeah, I just mentioned. Yeah, north central Arkansas, about 2 to 4 o'clock in the morning, those storms will push through, and I'll kind of time this out with the HRRR model here right now. So let's get off the radar and let's look at the weather models here real quick. So going through the rest of the evening here, again, this is the area of concern. So 11 o'clock, northwestern Arkansas, we could start to see storms, but I think most of the storms will be pushing mainly through northeastern Arkansas versus northwestern Arkansas. So that will be where we see the most concentrated area of storms is across northeastern Arkansas and then getting into western Tennessee. So from Memphis to Jackson up toward Nashville, we'll be watching those areas. And then that'll be toward 3 o'clock in the morning. We'll be seeing those along the I-40 corridor from Nashville to Murfreesboro to Crossville, Cookeville, Tennessee, there to the Cumberland Plateau, the Smoky Mountain areas, and then some isolated storms up there in towards central Kentucky. And then your Tuesday morning commute, these storms should be pushing across portions there of the western Carolinas, northern Georgia, northern Alabama. That's when Florence, Alabama, and Huntsville could be seeing some storms. But it looks like the storms really start to fade away toward the morning tomorrow as they kind of outrun the better instability there. So we're not too concerned about a widespread severe weather threat tomorrow morning. Just watch out for heavy rain and some isolated stronger thunderstorms. Definitely a possibility for tomorrow morning. So as you're headed off out the door for work or school, just make sure to have an umbrella handy. We could be seeing some shower storms and a few strong storms still lingering around across the Mid-South and the Tennessee Valley into the Western Carolinas during that time frame, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, your daughter lives in northeastern Arkansas? No, she'll be fine. The main mode of severe weather will be 60-mile-per-hour winds and some quarter-size hail. So as long as she's indoors and everything, she'll be fine. Just make sure to have ways to get warnings tonight if you live in northeastern Arkansas. Whether it's a NOAA weather radio, a smartphone, tablet, computer, anything that could wake you up in case of a warning. Because I can't discount the potential for a tornado warning popping up sometime tonight, but I think the overall tornado threat across all of the United States is very low tonight, so about 2% or less. What time for Western Kentucky? Western Kentucky, the storms will be moving through right now. We have a severe warning in Western Kentucky, and that'll go through about midnight to 2 a.m. And then once we get past 2 in the morning, those storms will be clearing out of Western Kentucky and will be drying out across the Hopkinsville, Paducah, Owensboro area, Louisville, all those areas, Lexington, Kentucky, will be drying out by about 6, 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So those are the areas impacted. Other than that, if I didn't mention your area, like notice how I didn't really mention too much about Texas or Minnesota. I'm not too concerned about you after midnight. Then going through tomorrow, we are going to turn the attention towards a bigger system pushing across portions there of Kansas. You can see we're seeing a big complex of storms developing over southern Nebraska, pushing into northeastern Kansas. These storms will probably be producing some very large hail, damaging winds, with more numerous severe weather tomorrow. We may be going live tomorrow afternoon and evening. This is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so if I go live, it'll be late afternoon time frame, depending on what the criteria of the storms will be like during that time frame of the day. Otherwise, I'll probably be going live later this week. Yeah, absolutely, Darcy. I'll always be able to answer you guys' questions. That's why I'm live here. Thank you for joining, though. I appreciate it. And great question, though. Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you who have not yet liked the live stream, do press it down below. Subscribe to the channel. We're up to 30,422 subscribers. Thank you to all the new subscribers who are just subscribed to the channel. All of the subscribers to the channel in general, I appreciate it. This channel has come a long way since last year, so I appreciate all the support. Hey, Forecaster Mia, how you doing? All right, so that's what we're seeing. Going to the severe weather outlook for tomorrow. So day 2 here, that's where the severe weather risk is, mainly across portions there of southern Kansas into northern Oklahoma. I do think that they may expand the severe weather potential for tomorrow a little farther north and east from there. We'll just have to wait and see. So some adjustments to the outlook for tomorrow are possible. Just knowing that the HRRR model is showing this a little bit farther to the north and east than the outlook is showing does cast some uncertainty of the evolution of the severe weather tomorrow, at least of where it develops. So I do think the marginal risk and the slight risk will be expanding farther north and east potentially into southeastern Nebraska and northeast Kansas is definitely a possibility. And this could be shifting altogether a little farther north and east. We'll just have to wait and see as we go into tomorrow morning. I will have updates on my video tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So be sure to watch the video in its entirety. A lot of great information, and we'll also be looking at the longer range as well, getting toward late May, what the weather pattern will be like. Another weather pattern change is on the way for late May. Some areas will be cooling down while other areas will be heating up and more severe weather in between. We have a battle of the air masses going on. So, whenever you have a battle of the air masses, the cooler weather and the warm weather in between, that's where it's May. So, that's where you'll be seeing some severe weather in between. So, we'll be tracking that here on my videos coming up. You're a weather nerd, me too. That's why I started this channel. I know what I'm doing. I strive to be one of the most accurate weather forecasters on here on YouTube, so hopefully I'm able to do so. Again, guys, make sure to go watch my May forecast video. Lots of great information. Watch my video from today as well if you haven't already. Make sure to leave a comment down below if you have any questions about it. Also, like the videos and everything each and every morning. The more likes we get on my videos, the more views I get, so I appreciate it. Yeah, Little Rock, you guys are all right so far. Little Rock is all right so far. We could have some stronger storms pushing through at least northern Little Rock overnight in towards your Tuesday morning, but other than that, I'm not too concerned about that. And then going into Wednesday, we have another severe threat on Wednesday and nearly the same areas, just a little bit farther west. So areas that haven't seen much rain, unfortunately, the only way we're going to get rain is probably seeing some severe weather out here across the western plains. And that will be on Wednesday. And then going into Thursday, we have another chance for severe storms. So we have multiple waves of severe weather going through the next several days. So we're going to be tracking this day by day on here as we go closer. Yeah, on Thursday, the severe weather potential, for some reason, it's not showing up here, but it's across mainly these areas here. So if you live in those areas Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, those a lot of the same areas will be impacted there both days. So we'll be continuing to watch that for sure. Yeah, you're welcome, Alicia. Good night, Rain Maves. All right. Hey, what is going on in Texas? There's a storm moving west and the others moving east. How does this happen? It's just the wind shear is so weak that if there's enough wind shear pushing from east to west, then there's not a lot of airflow. There's not a lot of airflow there into the southern plains. So when the storms develop, they basically feed off of their own outflow boundaries. And what I mean by that is if the outflow boundary is dominant and pushing west, then that's the direction in which the storm will move. There's not a lot of wind shear down here, so that's partially why the storms are not going to be hanging on too much longer. So these severe warnings in Texas will not be lasting too much longer, as the sun is pretty much setting right now. We're losing the energy in the environment, so the storms near Brownwood and San Angelo, and then up north to Tyler, Texas, will be losing their luster here in the next couple of hours through about 10, 11 o'clock. So other than that, I see pretty much no storms on the radar after midnight there towards north or east Texas. Just due to the low wind shear, you have to have wind shear to keep these storms going at night, and I don't see much of that going through the rest of tonight, especially after midnight time frame. So we should be good down here in the next couple of hours. Just watch out for some hail and some damaging winds besides that. No, it won't be bad if they meet somewhere. Nope. Yeah, if the storms meet up together, they kind of morph together into one big storm. They're not really going to be doing much. They'll just rain themselves out. So, yeah, if the storms are kind of moved together in the same area, they'll be fine. These storms will be all fading away in the next couple hours. Yeah, good question there, though. Good question. What's my opinion on the best free radar app? Well, I mean, the one I'm using is very cheap. It's only like $10. So if you want to get a nice quality out of it, just pay $10 and you can just get this one. But for a free radar app, I mean, the Weather Channel radar is all right. Um, there's a bunch of different ones you could use, but I think if you want quality, Radar Omega is the way to go. It's just a cheap $5-10 worth, and you're good to go. A couple of moderators. I already have a couple of moderators. They're just not here right now. But if you would like to be one, if you're going to be on my channel and my live streams when I go live, then I definitely could add you as a moderator if you would like. How much longer are these storms going to last in Missouri? Anything going to move northeast? No, all these storms are moving away from St. Louis. So they're moving south and east. So I'll put the radar loop on and move the radar scope up here towards St. Louis. And yeah, these storms are moving away from St. Louis here. And I'll put the radar in loop so you can see that. See how the storms are moving southeast, St. Louis up here, O'Fallon, Alton. Yeah, these storms are moving away from St. Louis and generally toward the Cape Girardeau, Carbondale, and the Paducah, Kentucky region here over the next couple of hours. So that's what we're going to be seeing. Yeah, Darcy, if you want to be a moderator on my channel, I definitely could add you as a moderator. You just have to let me know. If you're going to be on my live streams fairly often, or at least you think you will, then I could always add you. Radar Omega has helped me so much since I got it. It's so worth it, especially if you have. Exactly. It's a great weather app. I'm telling you guys. Oh, awesome. Thank you for what you do. You have a link or anything for Radar Omega that you can. No, I do not. I don't have a link for Radar Omega. You just go to Google and type in Radar Omega, and you should see the. It should be able to be a downloadable app for you on off of Google. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Darcy, I see what you're saying. Usually the chat's not too strong here. Usually it doesn't go too fast, but if it does, I can slow it down as well manually. So we'll just have to see. Will HTV, I'd love to be a mod if you need help. I'm a self-taught storm spotter and have taken the class. I'm learning as I go. Well, thanks for being a storm spotter. Definitely very helpful out there as well to know what things are doing out there on the ground. And yeah, I can consider that if you would like to be on my live streams fairly often. Then yeah, I could add you as well as a moderator. Appreciate it. Hey Raven, how you doing? Your aunt is in Paducah. Yeah, Paducah could get hit by storms within the next couple of hours. That's the direction in which these storms are moving. So in this area here, in the next couple of hours, these storms are moving in this direction towards Paducah. So we'll see that within the next, 1 to 2 to 3 hours there. So through the midnight time frame, they'll be pushing down toward Paducah, Kentucky. You have a question? Well, ask away, Raven. Yeah, don't hesitate to ask your question. If you have any good questions on here, questions at all the questions are good questions, then make sure you ask. I will answer. But yeah, if anybody has any questions while I'm live here for the next few minutes, make sure you ask. Otherwise, I think we'll be wrapping this up here pretty soon. So I appreciate everybody joining. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the live stream, and watch my video tomorrow. That'll be out at 9 a.m. Also be putting my summer forecast video out later this week towards this weekend. So be sure to be there for that as well. And don't hesitate if you have any questions, comments, concerns on my video. Each and every morning when I post them at 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time, every single morning, be sure to ask your question down below in the video. I will be answering those. Usually I answer the questions during the afternoon. So if I haven't answered your question off my video, late morning, early afternoon, I will do so some point in the day. I always look through all the comments there. Yeah, you guys don't have to ask. You don't have to say you guys have a question. Just ask away. Don't worry about it. Is Nashville going to be bad? No. There could be some stronger storms in Nashville. They won't arrive till 3 or 4 in the morning. So you're good down toward Nashville. These storms will not get down into middle Tennessee until between about 2 a.m. across. So these areas here, so like Clarksville down to Jackson and then Memphis, Tennessee, this will be around 2 o'clock in the morning. And then around Nashville to Crossville and those areas will be about 3 to 4 a.m. in those areas. So hopefully that helps you out. I'll leave that on the screen for a minute here. So in those general areas, that is what we expect. So 2 a.m. to along and northwest of that line, and then from 3 to 4 a.m. along and northwest of that line. If you're east of this line, it'll be after 4 a.m. toward like Knoxville and Chattanooga, Huntsville, those areas. Yeah, I have to go though because I gotta do my video for you guys in the morning. I have to get all the information set up for that. Is Springfield going to be bad? Are you talking about Springfield, Illinois, or Missouri? Right now, Springfield, Illinois is fine. You guys will be good. And for the most part, Springfield, Missouri is all right for right now. Watch the storm to your north and west. It's really not moving too quick. It might rain itself out, really. It's kind of detached from the main convective system to the east. Well, we still could be seeing some stronger storms toward Joplin or Springfield later on, but I do suspect that that will probably be about it for the night. So if you don't see that, you should be good there. Just watch out for some damaging winds and hail. Can I be live till 11? I wish. I wish. I was trying to. Well, I'm already been live for over 2 hours already. Now, and I have to save my voice for my video tomorrow morning. But I would love to be live till then. For bigger severe weather days, if we have like enhanced, moderate, or high risk severe weather days, and if it's overnight threat, then this upcoming rest of spring and summer, then of course I'll be live longer. But as it's only a marginal slight risk day of severe weather, I don't see the need to stay live too much longer, as it's just mainly a damaging wind and large hail risk. We're not really seeing many tornadoes tonight. I'm just entertaining. Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad I am entertaining to you guys. Marine White, thanks for all you do. What does Southeast Wisconsin look like this evening? Southeast Wisconsin, you were good. So like Milwaukee, Racine, Wisconsin, Kenosha, Sheboygan, Madison, you guys are all good up here. You guys are all good. Just watch out for some fog. There could be some fog developing. There was some rain, some heavy rain last night, especially in northeastern Illinois, parts of southeast Wisconsin. Just watch out there. There could be some dense fog starting to develop. Other than that, you should be good. Yeah, 2 hours. I've been live for 2 hours and 15 minutes already. Yeah, well, thank you guys for the support. I appreciate it. All right. Well, spread the word about the channel, guys. I appreciate it. Spread the word about the channel on social media if you'd like, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anything. I appreciate it. We're almost to 30,500 subscribers. I really appreciate all the new subscribers today. Make sure to go watch today's video. Again, I appreciate all of you guys joining me this evening. So be safe if you live in the lower Missouri Valley. A couple of severe storms may rumble through tonight, mainly with damaging winds and large hail. There could be an isolated tornado, but I think the tornado threat is actually starting to lessen. If you live in Texas, there is some storms. There are some severe weather potentials here. Again, there is a little bit of a bow echo trying to develop near Brownwood with some bigger hail. We have some $50 to ping pong ball size hail there over Lake Brownwood State Park region. That's in central Texas. Camp Bowie around 9:20. Watch out for that. And then the Zephyr, Texas area, if it holds on through about 9:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Other than that, these storms in Texas will be losing their luster after midnight, and we'll be saying goodbye to the severe weather for there. More severe weather is expected through the Central Plains as we go through the rest of the week. We'll be highlighting that in my video as we go in through the rest of this week. My summer video will be out later this week or this upcoming weekend. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great and safe rest of your Monday, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Good night, everybody.